Hello friends, I'm Sarah and today I am reviewing the Prang Oval-16 watercolor set that I got for my birthday last week. So, these are semi-moist, half-pan oval watercolors. This palette comes with 16 colors and ranges from about $7.99 to about $11. This watercolor is also available in an 8-color variety. The colors it comes with are white 16, red violet 41, blue violet 40, turquoise blue 35, blue green 39, yellow green 39, red orange 36, red 1, orange 6, yellow 5, green 9, blue 7, violet 14, brown 12, and black 34. This particular palette also comes with a size 6 white Taklon watercolor brush that's labeled Prang. I'm going to use this brush throughout the whole video just to test it out as well, along with the watercolor. The colors are removable and replaceable. Under the colors there's a sheet, and the sheet should be on the screen. You guys can pause it and read it if you want. This identifies the colors and some other things about this paint. Okay, now I'm going to swatch this palette and compare it to my Winsor Newton Cotman pocket box, which is also another very popular palette on social media. And my review of that is linked in the description box, along with my Pinterest, my social media, and all of the supplies I used within this video are also in the description box. So right off the bat, these colors are very pigmented and it doesn't take much work to wake them up. The first 8 colors I swatched are the original 8 colors in the 8-color palette. As you can see, the colors are very vibrant and seem comparable to the Cotman palette. This makes sense since they're both technically student grade colors, although Winsor and Newton is usually the higher quality paints at a budget price. I watched some other reviews that said the Prang was a little bit more glossy, but I only noticed that in the pans they're glossy because the Prang is semi-moist and I'm not sure if the Cotman ones are labeled as semi-moist. But on this swatch paper, it doesn't look like they're glossy, and in my demo, it doesn't look like the paint dry glossy, but I guess it depends on how many layers you put excuse me, on top of the, or how many layers you make. And the Prang Black is extremely pigmented and almost looks like ink in opacity. Yes. It pretty much looks like ink. So that's cool. I marked out the colors that I thought looked extremely similar in these swatches. This will be listed in the description box if you guys are interested. But the main point of this is that the Prang watercolor really isn't missing any important colors. Also, I wanted to show how similar these paints look. Now I want to do some lifting and blooming tests and comparisons between my Prang and my Cotman palettes. For the lift test, I chose turquoise blue from Prang and intense blue from Cotman because I thought they looked really similar. However, whenever I looked back at the paints again, I noticed that Prang Blue 7 and Intense Blue are probably more similar, but they're still similar colors, so I think the comparison is fair. Oh, and what is this? I think I mentioned this before. During my lifting test, I noticed that whenever I laid down the Winsor Newton, there's this random, patch that the paint doesn't want to stick to the paper. I don't know if that happens for everybody, but for some reason when I'm using this Canson paper, it's listed in the description box, I can't remember the name of it right now, it doesn't stick, and I thought I should point that out to you guys. The Prang, however, did stick, as you can see, and it dries nicely. Anyways, I spread out some water and I chose similar colors to compare in the bloom test. As you can see, red orange 36 bloomed spectacularly. All of the Prang paints seem to do a decent job with blooming. While Cotman does bloom, it doesn't seem to go as far, especially not compared to the red orange 36 from the Prang palette. Both palettes do a great job and are very liftable. Looking at them up close, you can see really just how similar these two palettes are in terms of performance. Both of these paints lifted beautifully. They both do leave some stain on the paper, but that was expected. As you can see, I am really scrubbing at the paper, so it does rip up the paper a little bit, but I just wanted to see how white I could get the paper again. And they both lifted really, really well. And I was not pleasantly surprised, I was just very excited to see that Prang could perform just as well as the Winsor Newton Cotman could. Whenever you look at these up close, you can't really tell the difference. I think if you were an extreme expert at analyzing paint, maybe you could, but for my eyes, these swatches and the tests that I just did look really similar. And of course the colors that I picked out, like I said earlier, aren't exactly the same, but even looking at them now, they look now I'm showing you a quick demo of me painting using the Prang palette. I found this picture on my Pinterest. You can follow me on Pinterest. This picture is in my head neck reference board, if you want to see the original model for it. Overall, I would say that this palette performs excellently. I think that Prang and Cotman are very similar, and as you can see, well, not really, it sped up a lot, but it was not hard for me to replicate how I usually paint with this palette. Especially considering that Prang's competitors are Rose Art and those sort of lower quality, meant for kids practice painting. This is one of the competitors and this works extremely well. So that's a pleasant surprise. In terms of palette construction, I have no complaints either. The plastic's hard and durable, as I said before, and the pens are removable and refillable. That's on that little sheet that I showed you guys earlier. The mixing area and the paintbrush do stain, but I think they're probably able to be cleaned with warm water and soap, and the staining isn't too horrible. It seems like they especially stained when the brush and the palette came into contact with blue and green colors. I don't know why, but it just seems that way. In short, I really, really like this palette, and I recommend it to not only students and children, but anybody who wants an affordable watercolor set that provides vibrant colors and ease of use. I think it's very similar to my Cotman palette, as I said earlier, and I'm really excited to keep working with it. I think the painting that I just did, the demo, turned out fine, and the comparisons look really similar, so there's that. As usual, I will see you guys next week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram so that you get updates on whenever I post. I regularly update whenever before I post. And you can follow my art Tumblr and my regular Tumblr. I don't post on my art Tumblr as often as I would like, but I'm trying to change that soon. My art Tumblr is SarahRosepgh, just the same as my Instagram and my YouTube channel. And my regular Tumblr is WeTheFindingOf61. So go ahead and follow those, and while you're at it, you should subscribe to my channel for more content. Yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.